Is the small cap stock crash over? There is no small cap stock crash. Small caps are doing fine. Doing great. Especially the value ones. Oh, well, not great, but they're doing fine. Mid caps becoming small caps, yeah. And large caps becoming small caps. We've seen a lot of it during 2021. Do you think studying quantitative economics in university is valuable if you want to become a trader? Yes, if you want to work for a hedge fund, sure. To become an investor, completely useless. If you want to make tens of millions or hundreds of millions of personal net worth, you should probably skip it. But if you want to have a fancy job and someone to boss you around, yeah, that makes sense. Well, if you want to study, I don't know, that sounds like a 5-year thingy. During those 5 years, you can already build a significant net worth if you put that time into studying setups and market mechanics instead. You don't have to go to school for that. It's actually better if you don't go to school. Exactly. You're gonna get brainwashed. You're gonna learn a lot of things that don't really work in reality. Soxel, man. I got stopped out of it yesterday and well, the SMH touched a 20 and it almost, yeah, it closed like in the upper end of the day's range. Big bounce. This thing wants to go. It wants to go to 400. Nvidia, I'm just watching it, not really. It's the weakest of the semi names. Kind of undercut the 50-day yesterday, but not really looking to do much with it. But Soxel, hopefully can go sideways a bit more, but once it sets up, I'm gonna do retard size on this thing. Damn, I should have sold Melee yesterday when it was in the 1300s. Fucking idiot. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew it. I even said this was gonna happen. But no, I'm gonna trade it with the 20-day. DraftKings? Yeah, it just keeps surfing that 20-day lower. Palantir is another one. Twitter is another one. CrowdStrike is another one. This thing had a big bear flag break 2 days ago. Square, yes, broke down yesterday or had another, But I don't know. I think it's kind of getting late to short these things. They already had like 1, 2, 3, 4 legs lower. No, AA broke out of the range 2 weeks ago. That's when the range was, not yesterday. Yesterday it broke down. Or well, it kind of tested the 10-day. This is not something you should trade on a daily. I do wish I had more exposure to the energy sector. I only got half size of ERX and straight up. Should have been more aggressive in buying these things. Oh well. This LI pulled back and is still building higher lows. Same thing with XBEV. Very interesting. And China just keeps hitting new lows every single day. The China tech related names. Or, Chinese stocks overall. Yeah, Baba is strong today. Actually, Baba is strong. For some reason, yeah. Oh man, this Soxel is so juicy. Oh, I'm gonna do so much size once it breaks. Hopefully it can go sideways a few days. This thing wants to make a big move. Soxel is gonna be 100 by end of the month. CCJ, well, I'm looking at today more like an EP. There was no clear breakout. It was choppy in a range, but today I'm thinking more like EP. Look at the volume. It's already almost average daily volume, 19 minutes in. It's gonna be a very high volume day. It's not a regular breakout. I'm looking at it as an EP. SI, how long? Sideways? If we can go sideways another few weeks, would be great. But more important, it needs to be showing relative strength to the whole crypto sector. You've been pumping MU for weeks. Yes, MU is one of these illiquid microcap stocks. Very easy to pump. It's pretty much my whole community that's been buying it. Several billions worth. That's true. I'm pumping the whole uranium sector too right now. Let's make the uranium double, guys. We're gonna be world famous. Imagine what the chat would be like if everyone could chat like from the beginning, if there was no 3-month thingy. Holy shit. Like, I feel sorry for these streamers that are kind of dependent on their viewers to make money, to make a living. They have to put up with so much bullshit. Well, all of these uranium stuff, you know, UEC, I mean, it looks good. It's kind of fading a little bit, but UEC and, you know, all of these uranium names are kind of having an EP type of a thingy. We'll see if they can actually hold up or if they're gonna fade back. I don't know. This NUE, man, holy shit, this is 5-star. Looks exactly like AA did, or not exactly, but very similar to what AA looked like a few weeks back and what FCX looked like a few weeks back. They're going one after another, these basic materials and metals and whatnot. IWM, yeah, this Russell is it's acting well. It paused right here at the 50-day. Hopefully it can go sideways for a few weeks and build here, and then maybe like later this month or whatever, break out on volume and make a big run. Go do 300, no, 250, 270. That would be great. Yeah, NUE, I had it 2 days ago. I bought it and I got stopped out the same day. But today looks like we have the legit breakout. This is what you want a breakout to look like. You want to be, you know, when you buy it, you kind of have to, especially if you trade size, you kind of, it sucks, but you kind of have to chase it higher. That's when you know it's a good breakout. I didn't get full size. Because especially when you trade size and you get filled, I always get a little bit skeptical. You know, this is what a good breakout looks on the 60-minute. You have a range and then you have a, you know, breakout, like a forceful breakout with conviction, right? Look at the volume. Look at this candle. It's not inching higher. No, this is a Viagra candle. Sometimes the inching breakouts work too, like something like Ford. When I started buying it here, right? Kind of inched higher and then it kind of went. I wish I added 2 days ago when it broke this range too. I was at 9 figures, but then I had to, well, I didn't have to, but I did buy my new boat and I had to pay taxes. That one I did have to do. So I fell back in below 9 figures. And I also had a little bit of a drawdown. I peaked, I think early or mid-November is where I peaked. And then shortly after, I had to pay taxes. And being a successful trader is a tough life. Being a consistently successful trader is a tough life, man. You gotta put in so much effort to get to that level. Most people just give up. You know, if you want to be a successful trader, you really need to want it. You really need to want it. If you think you're gonna do this on the side, you know, make some money and then go do some photography or art the rest of your life, you're not gonna make it. Needs to be your calling, otherwise you can just put your money in index funds. You'll be better off. Yeah, you need to be a little bit obsessive. Like, you can't have too many other things, you know, you can't focus on too many other things. Top performer in any field, it's the same thing. That needs to be your main focus. You can't do something else on the side. It's the same thing in, you know, whatever. You're saying I should ditch the wife and kids to focus more? No, I'm not saying that. That's probably not a good idea. Do the sectors draw your attention sometime? Yeah, you have to identify themes. Now, what are the themes right now? Energy, right? That's one of the themes. And uranium is part of the energy complex, right? As well as ERX, which is a triple oil or energy ETF. Double? Wait, they nerfed the ERX? Oh yeah, I think they nerfed it back in 2020 when all these triple ETFs went to shit. Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, okay, never mind. I thought it was a triple. Oh, that's a good question. Wall Street Bull 91. Do I think people underestimate the amount of obsession I still have for performance because they only see 5% of the day? Yeah. I do think people underestimate the amount of work that goes into this, the amount of thought process, the amount of, you know, observation, like really trying to listen. That's something I've become much better at and trying to get even better. Just listen, you know, where's the money flowing? And then you go with it. Try to find stocks within that theme. Once the market confirms the money is flowing into those stocks. Which hurt you more? Missing a breakout or catching a fake out? It depends. It depends on the setup. If it's a really good setup that I've been stalking and I somehow still miss it, that's really bad. But also buying a great breakout, you know, everything is lining up, and then it fails. It's not bad. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good trade, even if you lose money. There's difference between, you know, a good trade and a bad trade, and a winning trade and a losing trade. It doesn't really matter if it works or it doesn't. The main thing is, was it a good setup? Was Nex a tradable setup? I mean, it had an EP yesterday. It's yet another oil gas related name. Had an EP yesterday. But sure, it was tradable. Right sector. Had a bunch of neglect, a lot of volume, sure. I don't know what the news were, but it was the right sector at least. Yeah, absolutely. Like if you look at the best performing S&P 500 stock this year, it's TVN. But look at what and all of these stocks that made big runs in 2020, early 2021, they peaked in February, most of them, and they just, you know, they're down 50, 70% since. Well, look at this stock. Look at what it did prior to 2021. Was down every single year. And then in 2021 had a big year. It was up like, I don't know, 200% or something last year. Not bad for an oil gas name. This is why I'm getting a little bit excited, to be honest, you know, for some of these stocks that are really getting beaten down. Because they, you know, some of them, not all of them, but some of them will be big winners going forward. Maybe this year, maybe next year. But the main thing is focus on setups, right? It's a setup. Focus on these flags. Like DVN, look at how many setups it had last year. Look at this setup here. This is 5-star. Look at this setup. It was a little bit slower name back then. This one, I don't think I paid attention. This actually broke out when there was all these growth stocks went crazy. So this is not something I focused on back early this year. But look at this. Had this breakout of the 20. Here it had this range break of the 50, right? Reclaimed the 50. Had this range expansion candle. Then it had a little bit of a longer base here. But kind of surfed the 100-day, built higher lows. And then it had this... you know, range expansion. Easier to see on the weekly. But you can clearly see this flag on the weekly. Right. Like setup after setup after setup. Now this is not the fastest moving stock. But yeah, it's the same setups all over again. These flags. It really is the same setups all over. Doesn't matter what sector it is. What type of stock it is, you know, it's the same setups. The key is you want to be in the faster moving ones. Like if you have a tiny account, I would recommend, you know, shouldn't trade sub 5 ADR stocks too much. You can do some here and there, but really try to focus on the higher ADR names. You want explosive moves. You don't want to sit in a stock that can go up 10% in a month. You want to be in a stock that go up 50% in a month. And guys, if you focus on the market, right? If you focus on the setups, looking at the things that's showing relative strength and really try to focus on good setups, you can make money in most market environments. Like if you're one of these growth stock guys, just trading growth stocks or tech stocks or whatever, you would have been killed the past 6-7 months, right? But instead, if you listen to the market, they're completely agnostic what type of stock you trade, you can catch these names. You know, Ford, right? I bought this thing at 20 bucks the second time around, right? Look at this setup. Focus on the relative strength names. MU, the same thing. When I bought it, some people were like, isn't it too late to buy it? Like, what do you see here? Well, it's an EP. It's a stock that's been going sideways for a year. It has a high volume, reported earnings, it beat. It's a classic episodic pivot. Very simple setup, right? And it had been showing relative strength before the EP. And now these steel names and uranium names are going higher. Now, the jury is still out if they're going to have any follow through, but right now they look really good. You know, you stock the good setups. You look at things that show relative strength. And you can make money no matter what type of stocks lead, you will be in the leaders. Doesn't matter if it's value stocks or growth stocks or shit stocks or quality stocks or this or that. Doesn't matter. Early this year, the money was in the shit stocks. The big moves were in the shit stocks. Stuff like QS was an amazing trade. Actually, that was late last year. Well, late last year, early this year. Stuff like Fuel Cell, also late last year, never mind. Anywho, you know, that's where I made like late November last year to February this year. Most of my money was from shit stocks. Tesla, I think can go sideways a few weeks so the 20-day can catch up. I think this thing is gonna, I mean, this thing, it's gonna, it wants to go to 2000. I said it. It's gonna go to 2000 this year. It's showing extreme strength, man. This is one of the high multiple stocks that didn't get killed. Well, actually it did get killed. It peaked in January and it had almost a 40% drawdown over the next few months. Actually, it had a 40% drawdown in a month back in January, February. But now it's just sitting here at all-time highs. Look at the weekly, man. If it can, you know, go sideways for a few weeks, it's gonna be an insane setup. There's a rocket launch site developing here. The most amazing trading stock ever, and every single time I underestimate it. I can't believe it's just Marvel. Yeah, it's another semiconductor name. I'd rather do Soxol than this one. It's a beautiful setup. It's just a bit slower and not that. It's a little bit illiquid for me. I just do Soxol. I'll ignore all these other semiconductor names. I'm gonna go almost full retard on Soxol. Almost full retard. Do you think? Well. Yes, you can make money if you have a full-time job, but the thing is, to get to the profitability level, you need to put in a lot of effort, a lot of concentrated effort over a several year period. But once you get it, like once you get all the bullshit beliefs out of your system and really can focus on the things that work, I think you can do a lot of things on the side. Like you don't have to focus too much on the market, but it's a very hard thing to do to get to the level where you only focus on like very, very few things. I'm not able to do that, but some people can. But I don't think you can. I don't think it's easy to get to be a profitable trader if you are doing something else full time. It's incredibly hard. It's incredibly hard if you put in a full-time focus. It's even harder if you do something else full-time. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I've always focused on this one thing, except for in the first couple of years where I lost money.